We got a little box.
You see it? Going stream friendly here, mobile phone friendly. That's the world we're living in nowadays, where you got to go with that instead. Hopefully this works here, and we're jumping on. And there we go. Instagram kicking in. Bam. We're good. We're golden. Perfect. All right. Fish and Toast episode 21.
2-1. And it is the 21st today. So,
this
kind of crazy.
This is going to be the best one yet then.
I think
best
so.
Best episode yet. Let me crack my beer.
That's nice.
Yes.
Cheers.
It tastes good. Real good.
How the fuck are you, Fisher?
I'm doing good. Definitely thought it was Monday for a good portion of the day.
Same.
Yeah.
This MLK Day really got me fucked up.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Martin. Why'd you have to have it on a Monday?
Thanks for giving me a day off, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I will say.
It was really nice not working yesterday.
I don't know about you, but I had a whole lot of nothing to do this weekend, so it was just all football filled.
Yeah, I watched every single football game. I watched a lot of bullshit TV, which not my call. And I played some Golden Tee, of course. So it was a solid weekend.
Yeah, big development is I got a like on my tweet from Golden Tee's verified account. We went to I can't remember what was it, River Roadhouse?
Yeah.
River Roadhouse in
quality place, by the way.
In Milwaukee.
Quality place. Love their setup there.
Yeah, probably should have gotten some food just to give them the full test drive,
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures right now. They have some burrito tacos that look awfully tasty.
It was just a little bit busy in there for like the dinner time-ish rush.
Yeah, there were some Lions fans there. There was some Eagles fans there. There were football fans, but we were the Golden Tee fans there. It was the only place that I've ever seen that had two Golden Tee setups
right next to each other.
Yes,
next to a projector screen.
Yeah, not a bad little setup there.
It was great.
So shout out to the River Roadhouse. But I took a picture of the Golden Tee setup and fired off a tweet saying that we were in Golden Tee heaven. And then sure enough, the Golden Tee Twitter account threw me a like on there.
I appreciate Golden Tee stepping up and saying that they like that, because
hey, who knew?
Anytime Golden Tee wants to say what's up, they can.
If they want to throw a couple bucks this way and sponsor the show, I'm completely okay with that as well.
I'll play the hell out of some Golden Tee. Okay?
About $7,000 if you want a Golden Tee in your home.
Yes.
Yeah, you've looked this up already.
Oh yeah, I've looked at all different kind of
setups,
different
ways,
Golden Tees. They had a Golden Tee at Costco. Josh was actually talking about looking at that like for Christmas time.
Golden Tee at Costco.
Yeah, like an old school version. You could a little stand right there. I think it's like $400 or something.
Oh yeah, this is like an old Midway.
Yeah.
Arcade machine.
They had that at Costco for a while. So shout out Golden Tee on that.
I've seen it right here on Reddit too. Costco's Golden Tee Midway cabinet now available for purchase.
Yeah.
How about that? I mean, if you want the one that we were like playing on, then you're dropping $7,000.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
over 3 for sure.
Imagine that in your living room though, like a full blown Golden Tee setup. You wouldn't even have to go anywhere.
That would go in like my man cave area.
It did crack me up that it wanted to charge you 25 cents for a mulligan though.
Yeah.
Just nickel and diamond out here.
I liked how we had the two machines going at the same time, though. Playing,
yeah, that was a little much.
Back and forth. That was
a little unnecessary, I'd say. Next time, just stick to the one.
I don't know. That's the height of Golden Tee. I think when you're playing on two machines at one time, I think they'll respect that. So
overwhelming.
Yeah,
it was an overwhelming Golden Tee experience. But that night we went and watched the Detroit Lions and Washington Commanders game. Do we want to start there? Do we want to just go in chronological order of the weekend? We can start with because Saturday night is when we met. But the first game on Saturday was that Houston, Kansas City game.
Yes, where you woke up just at the start of the game.
It's possible.
Fisher had a wild night.
I got after it. I did the whole Dave Chappelle catalog, my drinks. I had 2 shots of Jaeger.
The thing is, can you remember everything that you had?
It took me a while to recall. But,
it gets a little fuzzy at times.
Well, what I've been trying to do since the new year is track not my alcoholic intake, but just
I was gonna say just a log.
Not that. Not just that, but my drink intake, because I like getting my caffeine from energy drinks. I like a little soda pop from now and then. And then I like to drink. So I wanted to track what I'm drinking every single day. And that was a tough day to go back and try to remember how many total quote unquote drinks I had.
I bet.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a soda pop or an energy drink if it came down to it?
See, I feel like my energy drink intake, that is at a pure necessity to get as much caffeine as possible.
Because you're not a coffee guy then?
No, I don't
not
like coffee.
Okay.
No. I love the smell of coffee, but the taste of it just right out.
I wonder if you just haven't found the right coffee.
No, I think that just coffee, you don't need it. It's just, like I said, just dump it right out, just down the drain.
All right. Well, it's a little bit better for you than.
I don't know if there's a level of cream or sugar that can make coffee taste good.
I don't know. I got a pretty good. Yeah, we'll see.
No, it's not possible. It's not possible. But I'd go a nice soda pop. You know what's been getting me lately is Mexican Coke. That shit is
pure sugar. It's their good sugar. Like the good sugar.
It's pure cocaine that they're putting in that. Dude.
That's why they're getting
it. Is that's that why it's called sugar. Mexican Coke. It is just straight up Mexican Coke in that thing.
Yeah.
It is dangerous. But yeah, definitely got after it Friday night, which led to me sleeping in a little bit on Saturday. I haven't slept in that late in a while, but we got up in time for the Texans Chiefs game.
Did you have to set an alarm for that, or did the natural body clock know when Mahomes was about to kick off?
Oh, natural body.
Yeah.
It woke me up just in time.
It was Taylor Swift's alarm.
Yeah. It actually, that's what it plays when a Chiefs game is about to start.
Yeah.
I have a Taylor Swift alarm going off.
Well, you don't have to worry. They show her a million times, so.
Oh yeah, I love it every single time.
Her and Caitlin Clark,
show her more. Show her more, please. I want to see her as much as possible. If they could just do a split screen the entire time, please, then I would enjoy that. I'm glad that was the worst game of the weekend because it only got better from then on.
Yeah, I mean,
and it wasn't even that bad of a game, but it wasn't as far as wasn't a lot of drama. I mean, the Chiefs kind of kept them at arm's length. I know it got kind of hairy there.
The drama was more with the calls, the personal foul calls.
I think they were all fair, completely fine. Yeah, I think that the Texans just need to be careful next time, and
they need to not tackle each other. They need to not hit each other's head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is not acceptable.
Because when you're talking about playoffs, and you're talking about close decisions and fine margins, you cannot be giving up free 15-yard penalties for something that didn't happen. It's tough. It's tough to win games when you're doing dumb things like that or getting dumb calls like that.
All 4 losing teams outgained the winning teams this weekend in the NFL playoffs, but I'm curious, do you know how many total yards Kansas City had in that game?
I mean, I've been saying it for weeks now. Kansas City has been winning with their defense. Their defense has been showing up when they need them the most. Because
I asked you a question.
I mean, they couldn't have had that many yards.
I want a number.
Want of total yards.
Total yards. Total offensive yards.
Let's go 315.
Try 212.
Oh my God. Wasn't 87 yards to Travis Kelce or something like that?
Travis Kelce had 117 yards.
Okay, so even more than what I was thinking.
Yeah, for some reason it says Mahomes finished 16 of 25 because they're taking sack yards out of the total.
Yes,
that's right. So 162 pass yards, 50 rushing yards for a total of 212 for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And I mean, last pod, I think you pointed out how poor like Mahomes. Actually, this has been one of the better seasons, I guess, for interceptions.
Oh, I thought I was going to point out. I'm like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's his worst touchdown interception ratio.
And
And it turned out it was like his fourth worst or something.
Yeah, he's just been terrible anyway. But that defense is what's been keeping him all in these games. I mean, they make plays when they need to make plays or get calls when they need calls. But the defense has been, I think, the best part of the team this year, helping out when needed most. It does seem like they started to figure out how to get Travis Kelce the ball more.
Yeah, I mean, it helps when the Texans just decide not to cover him.
Yeah, I don't understand. Well,
you know, I would think that the guy that leads in playoff receptions and is second now and all time and playoff receiving yards and touchdowns, I would personally guard him. I would figure out to maybe put two guys on him. But, you know, that's just me. Call me crazy.
You like watch him run a route and you're like, that's not very fast. Like, it's not good.
Dude,
like,
that's what cracks me up is when the games are going and it shows him and like, here's Travis Kelce and he gets open.
Just
I was like,
no explosion.
He just literally just ran the weakest curl route 15 yards down the field and did kind of like a side shuffle.
Sat down there.
And then just, found a weak spot, soft spot in the coverage. Mahomes ran around for a couple seconds and then just darts it towards him.
I feel like his body's gotten worse too over the years. It's like a bag of milk now or something. Just like he's not cut. He doesn't lift weights. He was on tour all summer with Taylor.
Well, again, when you're running routes like that, I mean, how much do you really have to work?
It's like no one decides to guard him. Like they forget about him. He's like so slow out there. Like everyone just overruns him or something. Like sometimes it just confuses me.
Well, even the touchdown,
he's a big body, but
even the touchdown pass that Mahomes had, which was sick, like him falling to the ground.
And finds him.
Yeah, he was still just
open. Just one spot. Like
you got Al Jazeera or whatever, just Al Shair, just diving for his life to try and stop the pass, and Kelce's just looking at him like, "What are you doing?"
They forgot big 8-7 in the middle of the field, camping, just sitting there.
Yeah, I don't get how. I mean, you see it much more than I do because obviously divisional opponent. You see a lot more of their games. They just keep getting away with it. Just week after week after week.
I don't understand.
It is insane. It's even when you think that the Texans might have a chance, they've missed their PAT.
Yeah. It's terrible. The fact that the Chiefs are winning games by margin too right now, and they haven't looked.
They did win this one by more than one possession.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like but it didn't feel like that, you know. Like
that's a huge win for them, winning by 9 points.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a blowout essentially at this point.
Yeah, did not see that coming. But the Texans did technically cover still off of some crazy ass safety at the end. Texans bettors just so lucky to get that.
I don't know if I can. I mean, there's definitely bad beats where something has happened like this. I just can't remember, can't think of like when a punter running out of the back of the end zone or that has ever led to another team covering or not covering.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of it. Again, I'm sure Scott Van Pelt has video footage from some Division 3 game, Division 2 game that you could bet on somewhere on an offshore European Bovada or something like that. But I cannot remember that.
Yeah, I just see all the people standing around like, God damn it. The Chiefs are going to cover again? How are they going to cover? And then all of a sudden, that safety comes and they're like, oh, we knew it all along.
Dude.
Chiefs had no chance.
Unbelievable. Who was the quarterback that was trying to kill time and he just threw the ball backwards out of his own end zone? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, I've seen so many like weird last second plays like that, or plays where taking a safety or doing something stupid like that doesn't affect the final score, and it's just random shit that happens.
Again, it was an older game. It was like, I think I might actually have found it right here. It was Neil O'Donnell for the Jets.
Neil O'Donnell?
Yes, like just trying to kill time. All right, let me get this pulled up for you because it's fucking hilarious. Imagine if you were watching and this is how you ended up losing the game. Is if the quarterback, he's going back.
Oh, God.
There's 16 seconds left. You're up. Jets are up by 6 over the Colts. This is in like 19. I mean, I see Wayne Corbett there. So this is probably 1998, 99, something like that.
Yeah.
So this guy just takes the snap, runs back a little bit, wasting time, and just hurls it out of the back of the end zone.
This is a safety.
Imagine not covering because of that. I think that'd be worse than the punter running the ball out of the back of the end zone.
Because, it's like a possibility. Right there, you're not even thinking that he's going to just turn around and huck it backwards.
You think you just run around until the clock goes out? No, he just literally just flings that thing 20 yards backwards out of the back of the end zone.
And it's not even like a lob. It's just a missile. He just takes it and fucking chucks it.
Oh, God. Yeah, I just and we can get into the preview of next week's game here in a bit, but I mean, I just can't believe that the Chiefs have gone. I can believe that they have gone this long, getting away with it all. But also, I just have to wonder if next week is where the rubber meets the road.
Well, I just like when they played earlier, then Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen, when he said, "I'll see you again," and I was like.
Yeah, but Dan Campbell did say that to Kevin O'Connell. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he did. But
maybe they meant on vacation.
Player to player, he told him, like, yeah, I'll see you again. And you're just like, God damn it. It's going to be another one of these bullshit-ass Chief games that we're going to watch.
Yeah.
And they're going to sneak it out again. Because when I watch the Bills, sometimes I'm like, that's a really good team. And then sometimes I'm watching them like, this team, how do they win so many games? Like, offensively, they're not super impressive. They don't have the weapons that you would think a big-time team would have. I mean, James Cook's awesome, but Ty Johnson stepping up, making big plays. Shakir's their leading wide receiver right now. Mac Hollins, who doesn't even wear goddamn shoes, is walking in there. Do you see his like beach outfit he walked in?
Yeah.
And then Keon Coleman's just a rookie right now. Amari Cooper has been, like, I don't know where he's been.
Dude,
absent. Like, he should be so much better.
Pass thrown his way in, like, the third or fourth quarter or something like that, and it's one of those where it's like, oh, yeah, that's right, Amari Cooper's on their team. Like, since that trade.
Oh, they made a great trade, but,
dude.
What?
Yes. It is a very odd team.
How is he not clicked?
It's very odd in the sense that, and I'm not putting so much weight in the Stephon Diggs thing, but like, I guess that just helped this team. I mean, James Cook for them too has been a monster this year.
Yeah,
running the ball. I mean, basically ever since he started running all over the Cowboys in week 7 or 8 last year, that dude has just been an animal.
Yeah.
So them running the ball with Cook and then Josh Allen has been a huge difference to where they don't have to rely on Allen throwing the ball as much,
which is good. They're not force feeding Diggs. They're not force feeding really anyone. They're running the offense, the system, which works well around Josh Allen right now.
So, but to put that on pause, the game on Saturday that we were seeing at the River, River Roadhouse?
Yep, River Roadhouse.
Was the Commanders-Lions game. Upset of the week. I still can't believe it happened, man.
It was a great game. I mean, shootout.
It was like, for it being
not
a
ton of
two-possession victory by the Commanders, it was still a great game because it had plenty of ups and downs. Had plenty of moments where you thought the Lions might get back into it, and they were either down by a possession and then it turned into 2, then they got back down by a possession. But
Jared Goff 3 interceptions. That you can't do that in the big games. You could tell he was a little bit injured at some point. We saw Teddy Bridgewater in there at one point.
Teddy Two Gloves, yeah.
Yeah, 1 for 1, 3 yards. I mean, and then they had Jameson Williams out there throw a pick on a wide receiver reverse pass.
and humping the ground too after his touchdown. You saw that, right?
Oh yeah,
Jesus, dude. Amon-Ra
he was
St. Brown
laying the wood to that ground.
ran over so fast to pull him up off of the ground.
So you need suspended. That guy is a loose cannon.
I was gonna say something tells me he lacks judgment from that touchdown celebration.
He's all the way through college. That guy has
throwing that touchdown or that interception rather.
I did find it kind of rough that they're one of their best players and one of their best players in the playoffs right now. Jahmyr Gibbs only has 14 carries that go for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns, but somehow you're not giving it to him more. And I
got to see you average at least 8 yards per carry before I'm giving it to you more. 7.1 to me just isn't good enough.
I think that the game script just got so out of place for them being down in the game, having to catch up to the Commanders. And that's not a game script that Detroit Lions like to go to. They like to pound, strike. And then when Goff's not having his best game, you usually want to rely on Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit more. We knew David Montgomery wasn't going to be playing that much, just coming back from injury. So you're hoping that all these other guys, not that the wide receivers did bad at all. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown still had 137 yards receiving. But when you're getting torched, that defense is getting torched. That's tough. And this goes back to when I said it with college, when coaches are getting poached by other schools coming in, when you have your 2 top coordinators being pulled different directions. Ben Johnson effectively already out, has his whole entire coaching staff.
Yeah, we're
taking
3 days removed from the game
to going to your division rival.
Yeah.
So
cold world.
How was his game? How was his head in the game? I think when I see that many trick plays for the Lions, you're not prepared. You don't have a good game plan going into it. And I think you saw that same thing with Aaron Glenn on the same side. He's already in New York. That guy.
Or New Orleans.
Yeah, he pretty much came out and said that his first job that he wanted was the New York Jets, which good luck.
You know who I think was behind that Jameson Williams trick play pass? You know who the wide receivers coach is for the Lions, do you? Antoine Randall.
Of course it is.
I bet you.
No one can throw like Antoine Randall.
I bet you Ben Johnson's like, I don't know what we should do here, guys. And Antoine Randall gets on the headset and he's like, a play that worked pretty well for me.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy who actually played quarterback before he played wide receiver.
We used to do this all the time when I was playing, but
when I was with the Golden Flashes at Kent State,
they would just have me throw the ball.
Yeah.
And then they actually went forward with it in Jameson Williams. I mean, if you're not a quarterback and the guy that you want to throw to is covered, you should probably just not throw the ball.
Yeah.
That's probably a good bit of advice I would recommend as a non-NFL player, but as someone who has common sense. Just don't throw that ball. Just throw that thing like Neil O'Donnell did and just hurl that thing to the sideline as far as possible.
If you got nothing, you should know that. They should have told you that at least.
But I mean, that game when it flipped was that pick six.
Yeah.
I mean, the Terry McLaurin touchdown was huge. But I mean, you're still looking at a 17-14 game. The pick six was, to me, the momentum shifter. I mean, and then even then, the Lions scored in a few plays to make it a one possession game again. That big Jameson Williams touchdown. So. Again, that was the interesting thing about the game is that Washington would get up 2 possessions and then Lions would come back. But once they got that pick six, you just had a feeling it's like, dude, Washington they're playing different today and they're looking different.
Yeah.
And then the offense just couldn't get stopped. I mean, it was in the first half, they scored on every possession except the first one of the game. And then in the second half, they scored on almost every possession as well. They did miss a field goal, but outside of that, dude, the offense looks so good.
You got to tip your cap to Washington. They came in with a great game plan. They executed. Jaden Daniels, for this being his first playoff run, he's looked great. I mean, I know there's a lot of people debating, is he playing the best out of all these quarterbacks coming into this final round? And you can make an argument like he's looked.
Yeah, I mean,
Some-
Jalen Hurts throws for 105 yards a game. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, we already talked about them and their offense.
He's clutch. He's certainly clutch. He is the most clutch quarterback in the NFL, but he hasn't played consistently the best football overall.
And then Josh Allen, as far as their game goes against the Ravens, like, yeah, he had a couple of rushing touchdowns, but it's not like he was lighting the world on fire.
Yeah.
And just like tearing apart their defense and just dicing them up.
And somehow now De'Ami Brown's just leading this team in receiving. Like the Commanders
Totally
have
saw it coming.
have another wide receiver that's stepping up for him. I thought it was going to be Zacchaeus. It hasn't been. Jamison Crowder hasn't been the guy. And I guess Zach Ertz stepping up too, playing a pretty big role, getting that touchdown later in the game. But Austin Eckler making a few big plays. Just a bunch of guys making good decisions out there. And then Jaden Daniels, he still runs the ball 16 times more than any running back. So
that's wild.
Anytime that guy's under pressure, it's just tough to get good pressure if you're not putting a spy on him. So great game, higher scoring than what I thought it was going to be. Anytime you get 76 points scored,
Yeah, I mean, that over
not a whole lot of defense.
Half.
So
I mean, 52 points in the first half alone. Dear God.
Yeah,
unbelievable. I mean, first big upset. I mean, that is one of the bigger divisional round upsets in a long time that I can remember. Going back to like maybe Packers over the Falcons when they had Aaron Rodgers in 2010. I think that was 2010.
Did you see that like post? I think it was a Detroit like radio station or something. They were just talking so much shit before the game.
Oh boy.
And yeah, it was bad.
Oh boy.
If I could bring up the video, I would.
Yeah, if you had the link or something like that, I have no problem getting that pulled up, but listen to it after the show as well.
Yeah, but I mean, he basically said that he was going to come back on after the game later and tell everyone I told you so with it,
Oh boy.
And then what do you hear after that guy? Just crickets after the game. So you're like, okay. I'm trying to remember what radio station. It was just a random, I think, Detroit radio station. But
I think I found it.
It's the Big D Energy.
Oh, classic.
Is that the one you found?
Yeah.
All yeah.
Right, let me see if I can.
Like a minute 38 or something.
Let me see if I can play this, and so that way we can also hear it. Give me a second here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that aged well. I told you he went in on that, and it was like, that's how,
that is
that's how confident they were.
Listen, I understand the confidence, but I don't think I'm doing that in any case, at any point.
No, that's extra. That's real extra there.
That is, again, that because what's happening today. He's having to answer for that. That's what kills me. This is why I spend time going through like what did I watch recently? Basically, like it was like a 15-minute compilation of Colin Cowherd's worst takes. And granted, that guy gets paid a lot for being wrong, but
I was gonna say
to stand on business and be that confident about something you have no idea what's going to happen and then be that wrong. Like that's a tough look, guy.
we're gonna play it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I hope you did.
Yeah, that's a tough look.
That
is a tough look.
I mean, I'm trying to think again, some of the biggest divisional round upsets. I have a list here of the biggest divisional round upsets since the merger. And as far as like most recent goes, 2017 Jags beating the Steelers. That was the Blake Bortles year. Your Blake Bortles. Oh God, why did I have to pull up this list? 2016 NFC Packers over Cowboys.
Of course.
And I literally just had to rewatch that video the other day of Aaron Rodgers to Jared Cook along the sideline. I don't know how that showed up in anything of my social media, my news feeds at all, but for the love of God. What's some other ones? Ravens, Broncos, 2 overtimes. That was the Jacoby Jones 70-yard touchdown with Joe Flacco.
R.I.P. Jacoby Jones.
Oh, that's right. He's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Fast.
Way to bring the show down. Jesus Christ.
Just
stating facts here.
Yeah.
Man's dead.
Paying respects to him. He was electric out there.
Packers, Giants, 2011 NFC. That was Giants beating the Packers that year. That was Packers were 15-1. Aaron Rodgers MVP.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was the year after the Packers beat the Falcons in the divisional round. I remember that one. Gosh, it is crazy how much football we've watched, man.
Yeah.
Like I completely forgot about that Ravens-Broncos game. The Jacoby Jones, Joe Flacco, and how big of an upset that was. Because that was the Peyton Manning Broncos where they could just seemingly put up 40, 50 points a game.
Yeah, whenever they wanted.
Golly. But yeah, Commanders, man, they got to do the Lord's work on Sunday, man, because we cannot have the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl.
I know you don't want them in there.
No. Dude, oh my God. I was sitting there watching the Rams Eagles game on Sunday.
You want to go into that game?
Yeah, we can
go
into that.
Get in that game because that game was awesome. It was crazy.
It was over until it wasn't.
Well, it was also like that first half, like not really any snow on the ground, and
then it started showing up out of nowhere in that second half.
And then there's just white everywhere.
It was like freezing rain in that first half. Like they had one clip where one camera angle where they were showing Jalen Hurts up close, and you could see the pellets like bouncing off of his shoulder pads. And I said to my girlfriend, I was like, oh, that's not snow. That's fucking freezing rain they're playing in right now. I'm like, that sucks. That's not fun. Playing in snow, fun. Freezing rain, not fun.
Even like everything hurts pretty much at that time. Like you're cold, like everything's slippery. Yeah. I mean, Kyron Williams fumbling, Matt Stafford fumbling, really big turnovers for the Rams in that. And like some of those fumbles, they just look so easy. Like they're just like that's how
squirt it out.
Yeah, it's just that easy in that kind of like environment. And I really think that the Eagles did the smart thing of just giving the ball to Saquon Barkley a bunch.
Yeah.
200 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. The guy is like, when you're in the kind of like weather and
makes Kellen Moore's job pretty easy.
Yeah. Because I mean, that offensive line pretty much they did give up more sacks than what I thought they would. Jared Verse was in the backfield a lot, but the run blocking.
God, you want to talk about great rookies? I mean, there's your defensive rookie of the year right there.
Yeah, probably. The Saquon Barkley had a bunch of great lanes to run in. The offensive line for the Eagles did a great job, and continued to let even just little holes where he just slides right through them and he's gone. Like makes someone miss, gone 70 yards. Like you got to be able to tackle him or it's going to be a long day for you. So,
I mean, receivers for the Eagles had 6 total receptions for 35 yards.
Yeah. A.J. Brown, that last one in the fourth quarter to get the first down to kind of like seal it when they needed a pass, that was like the biggest catch you can have. And it was just tough to catch the ball in that weather, you know, like, or to run routes or you'd stay on like it was just like it just becomes a mess at some point. And
But also this game, I feel like it was a microcosm of why I just don't trust the Eagles. I was talking to someone today about them, like, is that you can play this way and get away with it against some teams, the Packers, the Rams. Like, this game was over. The game was over with 4.5 minutes left. They let the Rams go down the field in a minute after not being able to pass the entire game. They're able to just nickel and dime their way down the field and score a touchdown in the blink of an eye.
Well, they're sagging off like crazy too, like giving that up, but they still had to go out there and make the plays and
make the catches.
And the
Puka
throws.
Nacua had an insane catch.
Yeah, that was
point.
wild. Matt Stafford had a couple of really good throws.
But after they score and make it 28-22, and then the Eagles play super conservative. They even take a sack at one point and lose like 12 yards, and then they have to punt and give the ball back to the Rams. And the Rams damn near went down the field and almost scored again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is the kind of shit that makes me not trust the Eagles.
I mean, if the Rams didn't have 3 fumbles to 1 fumble, and those are the turnovers in the game. I guess Cooper DeJean had a fumble, but then picked it back up again on that punt return. Yeah. But these turnovers are the things that really separate these close of games.
Every team that lost this weekend, they lost the turnover battle. It was the Rams, the Lions, the Texans, the Ravens. I mean, all of them had 3 to 4 to 5 turnovers in the game.
That's really where it comes down to.
It's like you can't
in these games.
It's playoff football, man. Protect the fucking ball.
But I was surprised at how much pressure the Rams were able to generate against the Eagles' offensive line. Could have just been miscommunication or something like that, but it was a fun, crazy football weather game of playoff football weather.
It was fucking awesome. I mean, that game also, there were many times where while they weren't able to pass the ball, I just loved how nothing was coming easy for either of these teams for a while. The snow obviously optically makes the game look fucking awesome. It was physical. It was just football nirvana. And what kills me about this time of year in these games, we do it every year, is debate about if this helps the product playing in this type of conditions, this type of weather. I love it. I know that I saw a clip from Kurt Warner that he was talking about, hey, playing in St. Louis in a dome, playing in Arizona, like there's no way in my career I could get ready for those conditions.
Yeah, no, I saw that video too.
Trying to plan for that and trying to
I played in Arizona. There's just no
and there's part of me, I'm like, dude, I get it, but also like that is more of a reason why these teams that play in nice weather like fucking win your conference.
Or
like if you play in a dome,
get home field advantage.
Yeah.
Like win that and you won't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
These people are winning their games so that they have this home field advantage come playoff time.
Yeah.
And that's the perks of winning your games during the regular season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I see what he's saying in one hand, but also every game doesn't have to be played in a dome. I know you want the whole, like the best possible game and product on the field, but this is this is any weather, anytime, any place. You got to be able to go out there and play. So, you can use it as an excuse all you want, or what you think would be an excuse.
And both teams playing it, man.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Is like we see both teams are having to play in this game, and whoever comes out on top, I mean, they were able to handle the elements better. Like the Eagles were not playing in this type of weather all year.
No,
from September to
they weren't
December.
Practicing in a blizzard all week. I guarantee they were probably inside for most of that. Like
the only coach that ever did that was Bill Belichick. Seemingly would make his dudes go outside and practice that.
Okay, no shirts.
Yeah,
just straight.
Which, by the way, there was one point I commented. I was like, dude, I would not be. I think it was the Rams. It didn't seem like there was a single dude on offense for the Rams that was wearing sleeves. which was probably, hey, let's not let the elements bother us. No sleeves. We're going out there.
Yep.
And I saw like 2 or 3 guys on the Eagles defense that were wearing sleeves. And I'm like, I don't care what is said about me. If I have to play in those conditions, I'm sleeving up all day long.
You'd have sleeves up top and you'd be wearing leggings on the bottom.
I'd have
I know you would
4
be.
packs of hand warmers in my underpants, right near my balls, right near the gooch, just warming me up the entire time. There's no way I'm going out there and not in my most I am going out there in my most warm gear possible. 100%.
Yeah.
But again, man, I mean, the Eagles, Kellen Moore, the job is awfully easy when you got a guy like Saquon Barkley and you got to play in those types of conditions. You just be like, all right, let's just hand the ball off to the best running back in the NFL.
Let's give it to 2-6 and know most times something good's going to happen.
I mean, Jalen Hurts, 128 yards. I feel like that dude throws for 125 yards every game.
Did you see that interview with him after everyone's like, oh, he's all perked out. Like he sounded so funny.
I will say he looks and sounds high about 80 to 90% of the interviews that he does.
It just makes you like feel like that guy is actually really hurt right now, and they're giving him anything he can to
Well, you saw his knee get all twisted up.
Oh yeah, he started limping around, but then he'll go and run for like 20 yards, and you're like, okay, are you actually hurt? Like,
I am seeing here, Jalen Hurts was 1,000% off of perks.
Yeah,
I almost
that's what
Tom was the most geeked out I've ever heard him.
Dude, he was. I don't know if he was just pumped up, happy, or that's how he is, or if the dude was feeling good by the end of that game. I'm sure he wasn't feeling great the next day, but
he has thrown for 259 passing yards in 2 playoff games so far.
Well, again, you don't got to do much when you're just handing the ball to 2-6, and that brings you back to that's why you pay your best players. That's why you pay guys. That's why he was asking for that on the market, and I think that he's shown his worth so far in this playoffs that's a guy that you go and pay no matter position,
So if I take out their game against the Commanders where he left with a concussion and you look at Jalen Hurts, his last 6 games, the last 6 games Jalen Hurts has played in, he has only passed for over 180 yards once. He passed for 290 against the Steelers. Every other game, it's been 128 this weekend against the Rams, 131 against the Packers, 108 against the Panthers, 118 against the Ravens, and 179 against the Rams. That's his last 6 games right there.
Well, again, he operates within this system. You don't got to ask him to do too much. It's a lot of handing the ball off, a lot of sneaks.
Mike Winchell, you need to exist in the 2 seconds between hiking the ball, giving it up to me.
Yeah, exactly. He has weapons around him like A.J. Brown.
Hey, Bobby, you forgot to live.
Dallas Goedert. Those guys are legit options for him to throw to. So
it's one of the best rosters, top to bottom, man. Annoyingly so.
I know it's tough for you to admit, but
hey, we're both in a tough spot right now.
Yeah,
your Chiefs and my Eagles both in conference championship games. This is unacceptable.
Yeah, I can't even. I do not need to go back down that rabbit hole.
I think we can comfortably say that is the last Super Bowl we want to see in this room.
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs, Eagles, absolutely not.
I didn't want to see Ohio State yesterday, saw it. So, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what I see. Everything is turning up not good for me right now. So, I saw a Texans beat down of the Chargers. That wasn't good.
Yeah, if this is if we get Ohio State Eagles football championship year, my crash out's going to be insane on February 15th? Is that the Super Bowl? What day is it on?
I think it's you're saying it's the day after was it Valentine's Day?
February 16th,
okay.
I believe is the Super Bowl, if I'm doing that math correct. Or it could be the 9th.
I think you're right with the 16th because I think Valentine's Day is on a Friday.
I have no idea, actually.
Yes. We're going to go February 16th.
February 9th. Okay, the crash out. Yeah, it's week before. I was thinking that was a little
dang
late.
it.
I know. We need to push the NFL season back by one more week so we can end
College
up
is doing it.
Well, we need to end up on
to...
President's Day weekend because then Monday will be off for President's Day, the day after the Super Bowl.
Surprisingly, the government city, we don't get that day off.
You don't get President's Day off?
Nope.
Wow. Disrespectful. I'll send
you say what you want.
I'll send a tweet
say
to
what
Trump.
You want. Yeah, well, maybe he can get it off for us.
Yeah, he'll share that up.
He brought TikTok back. So good games Sunday. Going to that last later game though. I don't think you could ask for. That's basically what I expected for a Ravens-Bills game.
Yeah, it hit the over, which I called on Sunday.
Close.
Which I felt not confident about at all. Doing my show on Sunday. So 2 of my 3 picks. One of them was Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Bam, right away.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's the game.
I did that and Josh Allen anytime touchdown, right?
And then I did the Bills Ravens over.
Okay.
And then I took Notre Dame to cover 8.5.
Okay, those are your 3.
Those are my 3. But as soon as I did the pick, someone texted into our show and was like, game in Buffalo with possible snowy conditions, playing in 12-degree weather. You sure about hitting that over? And I was like, oh no, I'm not sure about any of my picks ever.
Yeah.
As soon as I utter and say out of my mouth what my pick is, and I put it into my little spreadsheet to track it, I anticipate it will be wrong immediately after that.
Well, I mean, a lot of people would say public bettors have done super well in the NFL this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's been one of those years where the public has cleaned up against Vegas and anything like that. So it continues. It really does.
Those poor casinos, man.
Oh,
those poor sports books.
They're hurting.
What are they going to do?
They are hurting.
What are they going to do?
But
yeah, I that covering the over at the end there. I mean, great for bettors there, but a tough day for Mark Andrews, huh? Did anybody have a worse weekend? I mean, maybe Jared Goff?
I feel bad for the guy. He's getting death threats from people. I've seen some of the memes are just brutal. Well, not only did he drop that ball, that 2-point conversion at the end, which was right in the breadbasket, the fumble.
Yeah.
So you have 2 major plays that are going to stick out, and those are the reasons why. They had 2 other fumbles though in the game. Lamar fumbled and Tylan Wallace fumbled.
He did
earlier in that game. So it wasn't just Mark Andrews who lost it for him. There's a lot of different things that happened, but when you look at it with the magnifying glass, you key right in on Mark Andrews, and it's an easy routine catch, right? You should be able to hit your hands. You should be able to, and I don't think anyone was even pressuring him to hit it. So he was pretty much. I mean, it was a little bit behind him. It was a little bit behind him, but still,
it should have been caught. I mean, I was watching the game with my girlfriend, and I was like, that's a tough spot because Mark Andrews is one of their players where it's you aren't in the position you are without him.
Yeah, I mean,
you have no Zay Flowers. I know Isaiah Likely has been good, but really ever since the beginning of the season, his output has gone down. He was on fire to start the year. Thought everybody was oh, well, he's going to be the new tight end option over Mark Andrews. And then it kind of started to flip and Mark Andrews started to get more involved. And then you lose Zay Flowers. So it's who is Lamar going to go to? And Mark Andrews, again, he's one of those guys where it's without him, that team does not go very far. And
I mean, he was coming back from injury earlier in the year, and then you thought that he might take some steps forward. Didn't really do a whole lot, but he's been a staple in that team over the years, and it's been someone that you've been able to trust. He's been one of the better.
673 this year, 11 touchdowns.
He's been one of the better tight ends in the league for years, So
again, that's why I was telling her, I was just that sucks because he's a really good player and he does a lot of good things for that. And Mark, leading receiver in Ravens history or touchdown receiver in Ravens history. I was that fucking sucks because when you're as good as him, I know you're trying to think this, I helped this team a lot, but you had 2 big mistakes in this game that changed the outcome. And it's just, that's fucking tough. That is really tough. I felt terrible for him.
Yeah.
Because I love me some Mark Andrews. And that is just brutal for the season to end.
And now that's all they're going to remember. That's what the season's going to remember. And then that's it.
And again, the guy had 7 catches for 61 yards in the game itself. He had a great year this year. And that's what's brutal is that people are going to, look at him and say like, oh yeah, he fumbled and he didn't make the catch and it just, when a player is that good and fucks up like that, it's just a tough spot to be in.
I bitch a lot about the Chargers weapons and people that they have to throw to, but when you look at these two teams and what they got going, Rashad Bateman is one of the top wide receiver or the top wide receiver over on the Ravens.
Great year this year, actually.
I agree
in Rashad Bateman standards.
But that's where we're going with Rashad Bateman, and you got Shakir over there for Buffalo, who's their top guy there. And you kind of look at it and you're like, all right, well, we kind of had, Ladd McConkey was kind of comparable to those guys. So not everyone's working with that sort of thing. It's just the guys that you have running the offense. And when you have Lamar scrambling, when he makes those improvised plays, and then Josh Allen doing the same damn thing, I think you kind of see where those top quarterbacks kind of peel away and make it different. So,
but shout out to the Bills, man. They
get it done.
Yeah.
They get it done when they need it.
I'm curious because, again, I haven't looked at the box scores itself, but okay, they finished with 147 rushing yards. They have seemingly they have a 4-headed rushing attack, with James Cook, Ty Johnson. I like me some Ray Davis too.
Ty Johnson really has come on at the end of the season. He didn't do too much in the middle part of the season, and then he's been pretty clutch for them late in games and making big plays,
Ray
big catches.
Davis, the rookie.
Yes.
And then Josh Allen, what he's able to do with his legs. But again,
you know that.
He had 10 carries for 20 yards, Josh Allen, so he didn't do as much. It was more so those goal line plays. But again, dude, they have 3 capable running backs, good running backs, and then Josh Allen. That it's just pick your poison, and it's to have fresh legs like that too. That's where I feel, if we want to start looking at the games for next week, if we want to start with the AFC Bills Chiefs, it's you don't want to count the Chiefs out because whenever you do, sure enough, they go and win the fucking Super Bowl.
You're not going to count the Chiefs out. I don't care. I do it every time, and it's just a mistake every single time because they shouldn't win a lot of games, and they still do win those games. So it's
they win this weekend?
I'm so sick of being they got no chance.
Dude,
they suck.
And
they fucking come back and win games, and they either are getting games from calls, 15-yard penalties. Mahomes makes something stupid. He could be hobbling on one leg. It doesn't matter. He runs for a big first down. He's 2 sprained ankles somehow. He still runs for a first down. So I'm done counting him out until I see someone actually beat them. They've lost 2 games on the whole year, which I think they could have won, or they could have lost 6 games, I feel like.
Oh, maybe even more.
But until the Bills beat them at the Chiefs, I still think you're going to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, which no one really wants to see except for all the Taylor Swift fans.
Well, I would say that the Super Bowl that I would say the least people want to see is Chiefs Eagles. I would say out of the 4 possible matchups, that would probably be last on the list. The next on the list would be probably Chiefs Commanders. I think nobody wants to see the Chiefs. Again, I like the troll aspect a little bit. We talked about this last week, the Chiefs winning and just making people angry.
Well, what does the NFL want to see? The NFL wants to see the Chiefs.
Yes.
And they probably would want to see the Bills.
See, but people are going to watch. But regardless,
but they're going to want to see the Chiefs, and they're going to want to see probably the Eagles.
No, that's just
I don't want to say that that's a factor in this whole thing.
It's just so bad.
But it is all at the end. It's a business, and they will make business decisions during the game and after. Did you see that? Someone put out a post that Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs are 7-0 when forget who's reffing the game. But
oh God, here we
he's
go.
7-0 when he is reffing this game. So I want the Bills. I am here saying I want the Bills. I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl. But do I think it's going to happen this year? Probably not. I do think the Chiefs are going to end up winning somehow. It's going to be a great close game. Everyone's going to love watching it. But you're just going to be devastated by the end. You're going to be like, I'm going to be exhausted.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're so wrong.
Me too. I hope, hey, I'm here. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hand up. But what I'm seeing right now, and then when you go and look on the Eagles Commanders side, I think the Commanders could give them some fits. But it's another thing that, like, the Commanders' magic might have worn off. Like, can you get Jane Daniels to play that well one more time on the road? Maybe, but he's not going to be in a dome this time.
It would be the first time a rookie quarterback has ever won a conference championship.
You're going to have to
5 times beforehand, and every single time the rookie quarterback has lost. So we would need to see something happen that has never happened before, which I am praying for. I shouldn't be rooting for the Commanders this hard because they are also an NFC East team. But if it means to give the Eagles heartbreak, and
then you're all for it.
Oh, yes.
Just all for it.
100% yes. That is, I will sign up for that 10 times out of 10. I don't care who the other team is that they're playing. I do not want to see the Eagles have any sort of success, hope, fun at all. And I need Jaden Daniels and the Commanders to come up huge this weekend. For the love of all things holy, please.
I mean, I hope.
I can't. I don't know what I would do if this Eagles team won a Super Bowl. That's why I'm also rooting for the Bills and the Chiefs. I'm sorry, we're in totally different spectrums here. Where if it's Chiefs Eagles, we are rooting for the complete opposite teams here in that Super Bowl.
I'm rooting for the Eagles, and
I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
Because
100%.
There's not a chicken dick's chance that I'm going to be rooting for the damn Chiefs.
No, yeah, I trust me, I would anticipate nothing less from you, but I can't. I can't see. I can't see the Eagles winning another Super Bowl. It was already tough.
Well, you can't say another Super Bowl because the Chiefs just won the damn Super Bowl last year.
Well, I know, but the Eagles, what was that, 2017, 2018 when they won theirs? The moment that the ball fell to the turf and the Eagles ended up sealing that Super Bowl, like watching that game was awesome because it was a great game between the Eagles and the Patriots. But as soon as the clock struck 0 and I realized that the Eagles were Super Bowl champions, like all the good feelings from that game completely washed away. And I completely forgot about how much fun I had enjoying like watching that game. And I was just like, oh Christ, wait, that means the Eagles are Super Bowl champ.
Damn it, why did I like that?
Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not happy about that at all.
But that's the thing when it comes down to this and your team's not in it and it is teams that you hate and despise. At the end of the day, you're a football fan and you want a good game.
Yeah.
You want a good game. And if I can get a good, close game
with the Eagles losing,
I would say, hey, fucking tie.
If I were to
get a tie in this bitch.
If I were to rank the 4 teams as far as now that we're to it, of who I want to see win the Super Bowl, Bills 1, Chiefs 2, Commanders 3, Eagles 4. I'm going full AFC here. I'm pulling for the AFC in this. Because seeing the Commanders win the Super Bowl, I would be somewhat cool with that. But then it would also mean that all 3 NFC East teams have a more recent Super Bowl than the Cowboys.
My number 1 team is the Bills left. That is the team.
I feel like they're America's team at this point.
Yeah.
If you don't want the Bills to win, if you want any other team besides the Bills to win,
then fuck you. You know,
get the fuck
God damn it. Just
I'm praying that the Bills finally get over the hump. Because what is it that Josh Allen and the Bills are 3-0 in the regular season against the Chiefs when they play Mahomes?
It's just when it matters.
And then they're 0-3.
Yeah, he cannot beat them in the playoffs. It's a kryptonite in the playoffs, and it will really see like a little bit of tide turning if that can change I don't know what kind of weather we're getting at in Kansas City and Philadelphia this week, but
I
I
think
imagine
Kansas
it's going to be
City's
fucking freezing.
75,
Yeah, 75,
humid,
75 sunny
31 degrees it's saying right now.
in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Snow?
Move it to the Fargo Dome. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch cold football. 31 degrees in Kansas City. I'm sure that Philadelphia is going to be much of the same. 75, 85% humidity.
Oh, God.
38 degrees at the link, it says.
Oh, yeah, we're getting like probably 40. Yeah, 40. Is that like snow, rain mixture?
And then where's the Super Bowl this year? Is it in New Orleans?
That sounds right.
Yeah, in New Orleans. It's snowing in New Orleans right now.
I did see that.
Can we retract the roof of Caesars Superdome by chance? Get a snow game for the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
How
right.
pissed would people
Kurt
be?
Warner would be livid.
A lot of people would be livid. I feel like we
Yeah.
need to do it just once. I remember we had that Super Bowl. What was it? The Seahawks Broncos Super Bowl was in New York, and it was a little rainy. You know, it was probably in like the mid 40s or something for that game. And I think that was like the last time they were like, yeah, we're never doing this again. Every game is going to be in a dome. It's going to be in a warm weather location to make sure that we don't ever have this problem again.
Yeah, it's always going to be Arizona. Just keep it at Arizona.
Might as well. I mean, and as far as college football goes, they should probably just make the Rose Bowl game the national championship location every year.
It is a great location.
I mean, they should just make that happen. But I digress.
Yeah.
God, I don't know how the command. I mean, you can't count the Commanders out because, I mean, we don't want to end up like Big D Energy over here.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, they have done it both rounds. No one gave them a chance at all, and they came with a great game plan both times. Dan Quinn says any place, anybody, anywhere, or anytime.
Can't believe that guy just left Dallas and he goes into an NFC Conference Championship right away.
Yeah, right.
What a prick. Unbelievable, that guy.
The guys love playing for him. I do like seeing Marcus Mariota there getting a chance.
Not getting fourth downs.
Hey, we're not talking about that. We're saying that he's in the fucking NFC Championship.
How many Oregon Ducks are left in the NFL season, and can we make sure that they don't affect the game whatsoever? Because it's probably not going to go well. It hasn't gone well.
Whoa.
It hasn't been going well for Pro Ducks recently. So shout out to JB on the Pro Ducks reference, but it hasn't been a good look.
Yeah. What do we got? We got Marcus. We got who is on is there any Pro Ducks on the Eagles? I don't think there's
Taylor Hart.
I don't. He was 12th in high school.
Is he still on the team? Josh Huff?
I don't think there's anyone from the Bills.
I don't know if there are any. Anthony Brown Jr. It says.
Anthony Brown Jr.
Says he's on the practice squad for the Bills.
Let's go.
Give him the call up. Let him be the emergency quarterback.
Right.
And get a couple snaps. Let's see. Eagles. Marcus. For the Commanders, for the Eagles. I'm not seeing any former Duck as an Eagle. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, I am not seeing any former Duck as a we might have to root for the Commanders now. The Commanders might have skyrocketed up to the number one on the favorite team to win the Super Bowl list. Unless Anthony Brown gets in there and starts getting some snaps.
I never thought Mitch Trubisky would have a chance to win a Super Bowl for Justin Herbert.
Where's Mitch Trubisky at?
He's the backup to Josh Allen.
That's right. He is. He's been there for a year or two now.
And Mike White.
Oh, long neck Mike White. Wow.
That's good.
Well, pray to God the Commanders pull it out and then lose the Super Bowl to either the Chiefs or the Bills. Sound good to you?
Great. Fantastic.
Fucking whatever, dude. I don't even fucking care. I'm just gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah. Just no Chiefs.
Well, I mean,
I think we're going to see the Chiefs. So if I were betting on that, I would pick the Chiefs. I'd pick the Chiefs, and
Yeah,
I'd pick the Eagles. So
I think the one time I went
call it
against
chalk.
the Chiefs,
What do you ever want?
that I went against the Chiefs was in last year's Super Bowl. And that
Yeah.
pained me to do that because I fucking hate the 49ers too. But I thought the 49ers were going to pull it out. I remember doing my Super Bowl Sunday show on 1080 The Fan and saying that I was going with the 49ers. Bang, bang, Niner gang. And wouldn't you fucking know it, the Chiefs pulled that one out. So I hear you. Betting against the Chiefs, it's a dangerous proposition. But I'm rolling with the Bills, baby.
All right, Bills.
I say the Bills finally pull it out. They've exercised their demons. They've lost, was it 3 straight playoff matchups against the Chiefs now? It's got to stop at some point.
I hope nothing more that you're right.
Oh, I know.
But I'll be on the opposite side with you there. I think the Chiefs are going to somehow 15-yard flag. They're going to
flag their way.
Yeah, they're going to flag
to a Super Bowl appearance.
You can't touch precious cargo, you know. So
I do love all the AI videos of
like Mahomes making out with the refs. Have you seen that one? Or they just start I saw someone. I was like, "What the fuck?" You've seen that one though, right?
I don't know what you're looking up, Tanner. I have not seen those videos. Sick bastard.
I already told you my For You page is weird sometimes. So.
No, it's the ones where like people are making up the referee calls and they're like 15-yard penalty before the snap, pass interference. Because of that, we're giving the Chiefs a touchdown. All hail Patrick Mahomes.
And a safety. They're getting the ball back. Punt it right back.
Oh, God. Well, again, if I end up this football season with 2 teams that I truly, truly hate winning their respective championships, then I don't know, man. I might have to take a few years off from football.
Yeah, well,
just not watch football for the next couple of years.
It would feel, like, I guess either way, we're probably going to have someone
no football for like 3 years. Just not a single down of football watch.
So ridiculous,
dude. That's a little bit of overreaction.
But it also happened already with Ohio State winning the national championship. That's someone in our division that won that is a piece of shit and, you know, somehow got hot at the right time.
Oh, God. Man, I was thinking of you last night during the game. Every time it would show Will Howard and him dicing up the Notre Dame defense.
Dude, I was talking so much shit to the screen last night on Will Howard's stupid fucking face. Where did you end up watching the game?
Oh, at home.
You watched at home?
Yeah. I was just at home, taking care of some stuff. I was trying to win a US Open.
Oh, God.
I had to come back.
I thought you were trying to Kennesaw State.
Oh, no. I had to come back at Pinehurst number 2. I had to make a tough comeback. Joey asked me the same thing, though. He messaged me on Xbox because he saw that I was playing. He's like, so you're playing PGA Tour while watching the national championship? And I just said, I was like, yeah, I had to finish up a tournament.
Yeah.
I had to make a tough comeback. Round 1 at Pinehurst was not my round. And I had to charge back. That they are going to tell my story for decades about what I did at Pinehurst number 2. Climbing back, clawing to get that U.S. Open victory. And I did. I pulled it out.
Well, I'm proud of you, Joe.
Yeah.
And me and Smitty did similar just on the Golden Tee links. For
another
that first
Golden Tee stop this weekend?
Oh, it's Monday. It's a new week. And yeah, the old Chillin' Phil.
Where is this Chillin' Phil you speak?
It's right across the street from Twilight.
Damn, Smitty went all the way up there?
Well, he was coming back from
the Tacoma.
Tacoma. And so we stopped at Twilight first, played around, then we went over to Chillin' Phil, played around.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
That was a place where we could pick up some beers for later. But we ended up watching the I guess from second quarter on over at Kyle's because his wife Rachel is a big Notre Dame fan.
Oh my god,
And her
she is
family,
the worst.
her
Isn't
family,
she an Eagles fan
yes,
too?
she is.
She is the Kyle. Come
so,
on.
So, but it was nice because we were all rooting for Notre Dame.
Nice gal. I mean, sweet as can be, but also just terrible fandom
Rachel's
choices.
great. Rachel's great. But yeah, it's one of those things and I was just yelling at the screen at Will Howard anytime he came up because he always has such a stupid face on. Just like either like a
Stupid
smirk
fucking face.
or he's just like complaining about something or
Hey, he's got Jesus on that side. Clearly, Jesus not happy with the Catholics.
Yeah. I
did like to see Riley Leonard's answer about why God didn't let him win. I don't think that was how the question was framed.
Oh God, I didn't see that.
I wish someone would have asked that in the press conference, but he's like, I got the utmost respect for anybody that praises the Lord as much as we do. And, I think that our faith just only fueled both of our teams and, respect goes out to them. And I was like, I want you to answer why Jesus didn't let you win. You guys are a Catholic school. You should be the victors.
Honestly, that opening drive for Notre Dame
dude,
was
thrown up on the sideline after.
But that was an impressive fucking drive. They punched the ball down there. Like when they would go for QB sneaks, it was like Riley Leonard was getting 7 yards a sneak.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden they were pushing him around to start. I think Jim Knowles made a few really good adjustments after the first drive.
Well, I have always been a proponent of do not put stock in the first drive in a team's
scripted
drive. Yeah.
Yeah, the scripted drive.
It's one of those that it's tough to do because it looks good, right? Like a team comes out, they run down the field, whether it's quick, whether it's short, you're like, damn, that was a good start for them. Good for them. But it is a scripted series. They're planning what they want to do. They have the first sometimes 15, 20 to 25 plays of their game scripted out. And so I just tried to take every first drive with a grain of salt. And, Notre Dame, they looked good. But then sure enough, didn't score another point after that until fourth quarter.
They scored in the third.
End of the third, the touchdown. I mean,
well, I couldn't understand why all of a sudden in the second half. Touchdown. Yeah, I couldn't understand why all of a sudden they're like, oh, we got this big wide receiver, Greathouse. Why are we not feeding him in the first half? They didn't throw it to him in the first half. He only got his 128 yards in the second half and 2 touchdowns. It's like, oh, we should probably throw to that guy. He's kind of a mismatch for anyone out there on the Ohio State side. Igbinosa just again doing what he's been doing all year,
20 penalties,
grabbing people, like hugging them, tackling them. And
I'm not too happy with Kirk Herbstreit. I don't think anybody is, but even he called him out. He's like, I don't know who he's waving off. He's been doing that all year, grabbing at guys. I mean, that's his 18th penalty.
Yeah, Igbinosa,
good for you, Kirk, for calling him out on that.
I mean, they have a lot of really talented players on that defense, but Igbinosa, the fact that he starts and is like such a liability out there, just blows my mind that not more people could take advantage of that, and that he just gets away with draping over people all game. So that's frustrating to watch. And then Caleb Downs.
I was telling you before we recorded this show, I felt like I was shaking my head that entire game.
Yeah.
Just upset and just like, oh my God, they're really doing it. Like Ohio State, I believe, scored on each of their first 4 possessions, a touchdown on each of their 4 possessions. I know it was the first 3, but it possibly could have been their first 4 possessions of the game. Touchdown. Yeah, touchdown. They scored a touchdown on their first 4 possessions in the game, followed by a field goal. So they got points on their first 5 possessions of the game.
I mean, I hate to say it, but it did sort of remind me of the Oregon game at like the start. I'm like, God damn it. At one point it was 31-15.
31-7.
Oh, yeah, that. But then like 31
Oregon,
when Oregon was 34-15, and I was like, I'm getting like flashbacks. Like, I need to turn this game off, is like what I was feeling in that time. because they were doing this all, like, they get up early, like, and then they just kind of cruise the rest of the game because they know that you're not going to score 20 plus points in them in a quarter.
And they also, like, again, they put it on cruise control, which also kind of baffles me because Notre Dame found themselves down by 8 points. And it was one of those, it's like, dude, if you just kept the fucking foot on the gas and just kept going at these guys, like, and didn't play so conservatively, like, they scored after they go up 28-7 right as the second half starts. I mean, we're talking 2.5 minutes into the second half is when they get their next touchdown, right? And then they score 3 points up until the very end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
When they get that final field goal. Like, that, it was just, I mean, they clearly were the best team, national champion, all that. But
they hit their stride at the right time.
It was one of those games last night where it's like, man, they could have won that by much more than 11 points, it felt like.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw Marcus Freeman at like halftime when they interviewed him. That looked like a guy who was lost. That looked like a guy who was defeated already. And that looked like a guy who had no answer. Yeah. Like, you could kind of tell right then and there that this game was over. And when you get that kind of sense and like fear and like look in a guy's eyes and you can see that, I was like, this is going to be bad. Like, is what I initially thought. They put up a lot more fight in the second half than I thought, but
it was crazy.
Still.
I mean, in the start of the fourth quarter, was it Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit were talking about getting a takeaway, and they're like, Ohio State, man, they just don't fumble. They had 5 fumbles all year, and literally the next play
they fumble
is when I think it was Igbuka fumbled the ball, and that it was 31-15 at that point. And then Notre Dame, they're starting to go down the field.
Great house.
And then they fucking line up for the field goal, dude.
Yeah, you can't kick a field goal there at the end. I'm sorry. Like, because you haven't been able to do shit all game. You have to go for it on that.
Well, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like, how much time you're going to have to get the ball back to still score twice. Like, that was one where universally everybody on Twitter was like, a fucking field goal? Like, what are you... Cool, you turned a 2-possession game into a 2-possession game,
dude.
Like, you're not doing anything. And then they missed the field goal, which I immediately was like, you kind of fucking deserve that. Like, plain and simple.
I was trying to figure out, like, the whole entire second half, Notre Dame needed to run faster. They needed to get these plays in. Mike Denbrock should have had like 3 plays called at whenever they were turning over the ball to him. Just like, have these 3 plays ready and let's go, because we don't have enough time to come back into this game unless we're running this fast. And they just weren't. They're not like that kind of a team where they set up like that. They grind you out and wear you down and beat you down throughout the game. And they're not able to do that when you're playing catch up all game. So I was hoping that I was going to see a little bit more urgency and like but they just were not doing it. I was just yelling at the thing, like, get a playoff. Get a fucking playoff. You cannot let the play clock get down to 5 seconds each time and think that you still have a chance to win this game because you haven't got enough stops in this game to even make it worth it. So urgency, it was just like one of those things where you could just feel them not being in the groove and ready for it. And
maybe, like, it's funny, like, if we were in these situations on the sideline as a coach, I'm sure we would be shitting our pants, pissing down our leg, and probably be fucking up just as much as they are, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I do wonder, it's like, if you maybe took a couple seasons off and just watched the game on your couch and watch some of these situations, would they also be like, hey, I actually got a lot better at coaching and understanding situational football?
Yeah.
Because, God, it just seems like, again, like lining up for that field goal, everybody and their fucking mom who was watching the game last night was just like, why are you going for a field goal here? But a Division I football coach at Notre Dame decides like that's the best choice in that moment. And I understand you have a quick window of time to make those, but also that's why you have a whole fucking department, analytics and all this shit, like telling you, like,
right behind you to make the right decision.
By the way, if you do this right now, this still only makes us down 13 and we still have to go down and score. Like,
that's why you have your Connor Stallions behind you. Yeah,
Your nerd in the data and analytics department that is crunching numbers all week long for you.
But they just kept flashing over to Marcus Freeman, and it like literally looked like he was playing in the first half and he got a concussion, and then it was just like deer in the headlights. The rest of the game is like he got hit hard at the first and he couldn't like recover totally, and was just like they should have put him in protocol at that point. And I just didn't know what he was kind of lost for what he should be doing. And that's fair because he's a young head coach. It's the first time he's been in this kind of position. He's going against coaches that have been there, been there and done that with Chip and a lot more experienced staff. Although they do have Al Golden, who's been around for a while. I don't think that he was giving Freeman that help in the decision making. So, I mean, I will tip my hat to Ohio State. They did what they needed to do, and they got hot at the right time. Their coordinators, towards the end of the game when Notre Dame needed that stop, and Ohio State was they ran QB sneak for a few yards, and then they were on that last third down play before it got to fourth down. I knew Chip Kelly was setting up for the one-on-one with Jeremiah Smith on the outside, who no one can still fucking guard the guy. Will Howard just has to throw it up in his direction. The guy's going to go get it, and that's what he did, and they sealed the game. They won the national championship on that, and it's pretty nice when you can just
go
ahead and say run a go route and get behind them because you're faster, bigger, stronger, and better at catching than anyone that you're going to go against. So go ahead, play one-on-one.
I mean, that was bizarre too, because I mean, the Notre Dame corner, no contact, wasn't in his grill, wasn't not playing bump, nothing, and so Jeremiah Smith was able to just get a full head of steam and just go downfield. Notre Dame essentially does a zero blitz, sends 7 dudes at Will Howard, so it's literally just snap, hike, grab the ball, step, drop back,
it was
throw.
Yeah,
it was one of those where it's just oh no, and then when the camera pans over and you see Jeremiah Smith with 5 yards of separation, and you're just okay, what are we doing here?
It's it was just routine. You could tell that they've been practicing,
just too easy,
weeks and weeks and weeks on these type thing. But Chip was setting up that play calling from the start, to all of a sudden be okay, well, now we ran. You think we're going to run again, and then we're just going to laser one down there and seal the game. And that's how we get in field goal range to fuck your 8.5. So,
dude, there was definitely
that is what happened there.
I'm telling you, when I laid my picks on Sports Sunday, I put them all in there, and I'm like, dude, that's an 0-3 week right there. I was like, I don't feel confident about any of those.
That's an 0-3 week right there.
I was like, I'm cooked. All right. I mean, the over under one on the Bills Ravens, I felt the best about. But as soon as we got closer to this national championship game, I was like, man, I just felt like this was going to be a double-digit 2-possession game. I know when we talked about it last week, I was like, I got this 24-17 Ohio State. But by the time I got to Sunday doing my show, I was like, I'm going to ride with Notre Dame covering, but I don't feel good about it at all. I see this turning into a 31-17, 34-17 type game. And it had the potential to be that. But yeah, I mean, the Notre Dame covering, the over in Bills Ravens, and then the Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, that was just on a whim, trying to figure out a third pick where I'm like, I don't know.
He was due.
I was like, you know what? Let's just go Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Let's get crazy.
I thought it was going to be a brotherly. I didn't think it was going to be a 44-yard.
That's what I said too. Yeah. And then I look, and he's scampering down the field 44 yards for a touchdown. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that. Okay. So, hey, I'll take it 2 in 1 week. I have sealed unless something ghastly happens in the conference and Super Bowl weeks where I go 0-6, then
you're setting up nice.
I basically have the Who Do You Love championship crown in my back pocket. I don't know how I'm going to show up to Super Bowl Sunday, if I'm going to buy a little trophy or if I'm gonna just have a bottle of Brut champagne or something like
Might
that.
have a little trophy.
I don't know. I've yet to decide, because if I go at least 2-1 next week, it's sealed up. It's a done deal. I got to show you also how we ended up tying last year, because I was ready to take the championship last year in the Who Do You Love segment on Sports Sunday, and then in conference championship.
Oh,
week,
and then you got devastated.
Yeah, going into conference championship week, I was 15-11, and we didn't do conference championship picks, so we just had divisional round and Super Bowl. I don't know what happened there, but I was 15-11-1. Rashad was 11-15-1. So
Okay.
basically I have it sealed up. All right, I go 1-2. Rashad goes 2-1 in the divisional round, and then in the Super Bowl, Rashad goes 3-0 in his picks. I go 0-3, and we tie at 16-1. You want to know what one of his picks were? Ludacris showing up at halftime for the Usher appearance, and he seals it. He seals the tie, and so we
on the sneaky Luda pick.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I went 49ers straight up, Pacheco anytime touchdown, and orange Gatorade. And
holy fuck!
0-3. Rashad goes Chiefs, Ludacris appearance, and Kelsey under 11 receptions. Even with the overtime, he still got it under 11 receptions. And my producer, Jordan, he took Reba McEntire under on the national anthem. Kelsey, anytime touchdown. Brittany Mahomes, anytime mention of Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. That they were just going to bring up at any point in the Super Bowl that she was going to be in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I'm still pissed about that last year. So I had to make sure.
I'd be too.
I came into this year with a matter of fact, no doubt win. And I got 2 more weeks to seal it up, but I'm feeling good. I'm sitting at 27-20-1. Rashad has no chance at this point. He's 18-26-1.
That's pretty damn good by you, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, no units or anything on any of our bets, you know. So, you know, I couldn't tell you if I was profitable or not on it, but 27-20-1, Rashad 18-26-1. And then Jordan has a chance at 21-25-2. Again, he would need me to have an epic meltdown, losing all 6 of my picks here down the stretch, and him winning all 6 of his picks to finish with just a barely better record than me. He would finish 27-25-2. I would finish 27-26-1, which would give him like a 0.001 better win percentage.
So you're doing picks for the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, we'll do conference round, we'll do Super Bowl
props,
picks.
all that.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty to bet on. You know, that's what we said coming into the divisional round. Rashad's like, well, there's not many games. I was like, dude, there's like 800 prop bets per game. Like, just figure something out. All right.
Yeah, there's, especially in the Super Bowl, there's a million things.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, you have way too many bets out for the Super Bowl. You're like,
speaking of the Ludacris showing up at halftime, I mean, with Kendrick, it's like, who's Kendrick Lamar's? Who's Kendrick's halftime appearance going to be? Is a secret performer. I feel like they always do it, right?
Yeah, there's always someone they bring out. I don't know. That's a tricky one with him.
Because I feel like you can't go any
Drake.
of the black hippie guys, because I feel like that's not going to do it for people.
I think it's going to be Drake.
That's what I said, actually. I think to someone, yeah, Drake comes out. Holy hell, that'd break the internet. Him and Kendrick just bury the hatchet.
Or it's just some Cali guy.
Dre?
Snoop.
Snoop's not in the best light right now.
What are you talking about?
He performed at the inauguration, but he's also the host.
See that.
Oh yeah, he was.
I know he's in The Voice.
Yeah, and he's also, I think he's like the host of the NFL Honors Show that they're doing the Friday before Super Bowl or whatever.
So he's balls deep in everything right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, you see him on the T-Mobile commercials.
The guy can't stop making money.
I mean, offer him a check, he'll be there.
So, Golden Tee, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a lot of things for Golden Tee.
Tag him
for a Golden Tee endorsement.
Tag him.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, good football season, college football season.
214 days.
Yep.
70 more days until next season kicks off. I looked it up today.
Well, at least we'll have some some spring games to look forward to and that sort of thing, like March, April-ish. I renewed my season tickets, so
yes, you told me.
Ring, done deal.
What are all the Ducks home games this year? I know that we kick off with Montana State. We get Indiana at home.
We got Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State is at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because then the next year is in Stillwater.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Got USC at home.
Montana State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern.
Also, who thought it was the best idea to schedule the number 1 FCS team? Like, a team played for the fucking...
Well, we need to learn our lesson from the Idaho game last year.
I know.
We can't be shying away from challenges. Montana State, Oklahoma State home games. Oregon State, Indiana is a home game. Wisconsin, Minnesota, USC.
See, I mean, was that 7 home games?
Yeah, 7 home games, 5 road.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I don't want to. No, I'm not going to say anything right now because I had a little birdie tell me something about the Northwestern game, but I'm going to hold that. I'm not going to spill the beans on that.
On the Northwestern game.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not saying anything about the Northwestern game right now.
We did get a transfer cornerback from Northwestern.
We did, but that's not what that is about.
Okay.
I'll just wait until the news breaks on that, and then I'll recall it in a later episode.
Okay, that's fair.
But you're going to the Penn State game, possibly?
Yes,
Pennsylvania State.
That is a big time. Well, the problem with that one right now is like getting a place to stay.
Sleep outside.
Literally, we are looking at a place one day ago. Look, the next day gone already.
I hear Kensington, Philadelphia is a great place to stay.
I don't know if you've seen much about where their place is at. It's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
I heard recently, because I think it was, God, what game was it? That they were thinking about having Trump show up at a game at Penn State. Did Ohio State play at Penn State this year?
Yes.
It was that game where Trump was thinking about showing up, and people were like, dude, that's fucked, because getting up to that stadium is already a pain in the ass.
There's like one road in, one road out.
Yeah,
and that, like,
they're saying it's a pain in the ass. And then if he shows up with his whole fucking police escort and blocking all the roads, that they're like, that's just gonna fuck it up even more.
I was reading that it takes like if you're gonna tailgate in that like parking lot outside the stadium, 3 hours minimum getting out of there. Like,
Jesus,
to try to get out of that parking lot. And then people were saying, yeah, if you have a noon to 1 game, you have to be there at 8 a.m. to start like tailgating and everything. So
well,
like,
that's not a problem.
No, not a problem. Just saying that like anything's going to take, you're not going to have any cell service there because you think Autzen 56,000, double that, you know?
Hey, a couple of golf courses near there. Go and get tea time.
But really all the like Ubers and Airbnbs are like out in the middle of nowhere. You got to take gravel roads and shit to get there.
Big city.
It's not. That's what I'm saying is like, that's why like you fly into like Philly or Pittsburgh.
I guess I've never looked at.
It's going to take a lot to get to there.
I guess I never looked at a map of Pennsylvania like this. Like I knew where Philly was and where Pittsburgh was. Kind of have an idea of like Hershey, Pennsylvania, where that's at. My grandma back in the day.
It's kind of by the capital, I guess, right? Harrisburg.
I don't know. It beats me. I just remember my grandma lived out in like Amish country, smoking fat doinks in Amish. I believe the small town of Akron, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I just found it on the map. Akron, Pennsylvania. But I'm telling you, we would go to the grocery store.
Putting Akron on the map.
We would go to the grocery store. We'd drive by 2 to 3 different Amish families, buggying it down the road. She took us to Hershey Park a couple times too. Should try to make a trip to Hershey Park while you're there.
Sounds yummy.
Have you never heard of Hershey Park before?
I have.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. Instead of like Disney characters running around, it's like Hershey candy bars, like a human-sized Reese's peanut butter cup, a human-sized Rolo, running around.
You gotta love that.
Oh yeah, chocolate everywhere. It's great.
Chocolate everywhere.
Just everywhere you go, chocolate.
It's Willy Wonka's chocolate factory there.
Essentially is, yeah. Ride the chocolate river. It's great.
Oh.
All right, we calling it?
Yeah, I think it's probably time. I'm fucking starving, and
Me too. I think
honestly, the
the
Ducks
ladies
play
making some
at
soup.
8. So
Ducks basketball?
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
play the Huskies.
That's right. That's why I don't have a baseball show tonight. It's because of those damn Ducks.
Let's go Ducks. Fuck the Huskies.
Yeah, no baseball show. I really wanted to talk about the Hall of Fame ballot and Ichiro getting named a Hall of Famer.
I mean, it was only a matter of time, but yeah.
Yeah, but also, did you real quickly? Did you see that he was one vote away from being a unanimous Hall of Famer? 363, I believe, of the 364 Hall of Fame votes.
Who didn't vote for him? That guy's fucking out of here.
Oh, dude,
Kick to the curb.
We talked about it a few weeks ago on the Hot Corner, and then my co-host Patrick Harris, who was like,
goddamn embarrassing.
Oh, he was asking. He's like, so Ichiro's a unanimous Hall of Famer, right? I was like, oh, 100%. Yeah, he is. I was like, but he's not going to get the unanimous vote. And he's like, why not? I was like, there's going to be one dumb old white dude somewhere, some baseball purist or some racist bastard that was like, too many singles, not enough RBIs.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to have some stupid high standard that only Ichiro of all players won't be able to surpass. And for some reason, he, of all the Hall of Fame voters, just knows so much more about baseball and the nuances it takes to be a Hall of Famer.
To get there, yeah.
To where he says, no, I'm just not seeing it with Ichiro.
I can't see it.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, unfucking believable. I knew it was gonna happen, dude. I will go and find the clip and I will resurface it of me saying that there's gonna be one.
I hope
dude,
you find it.
And sure enough, there was one fucking guy that felt like he knew about baseball more than everybody else to not vote Ichiro Hall of Famer. Unbelievable. All right. Well, we're going to have our Super Bowl matchup next time we probably see each other.
Yep.
I got a big basketball tournament this weekend in McMinnville. So I pray to God that Sunday the tip-off times don't coincide with the conference championship games.
They probably will, but
I was going to say,
it is what it is.
Probably will.
Hopefully you just have early games and get it out of the way, and boom, you're good.
Yeah, and hopefully, and now it makes me wonder that there is no fucking basketball tournament planned for Super Bowl weekend, or else someone's getting a sternly worded email.
You dumb fucks.
I think we have a single day tournament in Forest Grove on Saturday, the day before the Super Bowl.
Hallelujah.
Those are some smart dads and moms, possibly, that organize that tournament.
They know.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you know what's going on.
Can't interfere with the biggest sporting event of the year.
Yeah, come on now. What are we doing? All right.
All right.
Well, until next time, appreciate you as always, man.
Peace.
Peace.